we have novice, and we have advanced. We can use either of the two to create our path. So I'm using advanced now. Then I'm clicking on path, and I'm clicking on OK box to start a new path document in SolidWorks. So as you can see, it's loading presently. I don't know. Okay. Now the okay. Now it is ready for part creation or part drawings. Now what we have on the screen, we have our tab which contains feature, sketch tab, surface tab, evaluate. So for this tutorial, we are going to start with sketch tab, and in our sketch tab, we have several tools available that we use for starting part drawing before we use our 3D features tools. Now we have sketch tool to start a sketch in a particular plane. We have smart dimension tools for adding dimension to our sketches or our parts. We have line tool for drawing lines, and we have some other tools. Also, we have feature design manager tree for organizing our feature as we are working. Our new sketch that we are adding will be added to this manager tree, and we have history, we have we have front plane here, we have top plane, we have right plane, and we have origin. We are going to be using this plane very much because these three basic planes are they are where we are going to start any sketch with plane, because we have to enter any plane before we start a particular sketch. So I'm going to teach you how to draw lines and give dimension, that is to fully define a line. Now we can select from these three basic planes. So I'm going to select top plane, and after selection you have to go to sketch tab and click sketch tool to start your sketch. One way we can know that we have entered a particular plane is this icon. We have exit sketch icon or delete sketch icon, or here it will change color, it will be darker. That means we are in that plane. And also this plane we align with our screen. You see, you can see the top plane. That means we are in that plane. So to draw to draw a line, just click on line. It has been activated. That's why you have insert line at this feature design manager tool site. You can see it is no longer on feature manager design tool. We have it on property management, property manager. So this is the properties of the line. So to add line, to draw a line, click on line, go to the sketch area. This cursor has changed. It's no longer a cursor sign. We now have a pencil sign, and line symbol, line icon at the bottom of that pencil symbol. So that cursor, move it to your starting point. You then click your mouse, drag, drag until you reach a desired length. Then click again to define the endpoint. Now we are done defining we are done drawing our line. To leave the line tool, you can press the escape key from your keyboard, or simply right click your mouse and click select. Now just click anywhere on the screen. Now we have our line. Now it is blue in color because it is not fully defined. It is okay, it is partially defined. So let me give it dimension. Smart dimension. Come to sketch tab. Smart dimension to click and then give dimension. After you click your line, you drag the mouse to define your dimension location, and then you have dialog box where you can insert your dimension. Now we have 90. Let me change it to 100 mm. Now we have um the line. The line is not um is inclined. It's not straight, as you can see. To add that relationship, to make it straight, just click on the line and add horizontal relationship. Look at property manager this side. You have the relationship that you can add to this line. You can either fix this line, you can make it vertical. To make it vertical will give you an error. That's why you have a yellow color, because we've added dimension this way, and this relationship, this coincidence relationship, is the one not allowing it. So just delete this relationship, click on that relationship and press delete on your keyboard. Then to make it vertical horizontal, click on horizontal. Now immediately you click on horizontal, you have the relationship registered in this box. That's relationship box. And you have the the symbol of horizontal relationship added to this line here, simply showing that that line is perfectly horizontal. So that's how to draw a line and give dimension to that line. So the next thing, I'm supposed to introduce you to some um other tools we have on the screen. So I will go back and do that now. Here we have the unit box. If you click on that unit box, you can change your unit. We have four options. We have MKS, which is meter, kilogram.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Sir, where is the unit box?
Yes, you can't see it from your end. I think Google Meet is not supporting that option. So, but if you
Yeah,
have
yes,
your
sir. Got it.
if you have your Solidworks and you click on that unit box, can you see my cursor?
Yes, sir. No,
So
okay.
okay, click there. You will see the options. IPS is there, MMGS is there, and you can select any option from those four options. So we also have tax this side, and here we have some tools too. We have let me leave this sketch so that I can use them well. So I'm exiting this sketch. I can either exit the sketch using this exit sketch icon, or coming to this side after clicking on my sketch tab and then exit sketch tool. Either of the two will work. Now immediately I exit the sketch, you see it was there before. Now we have this sketch one created here on our feature manager design tree, and you see it is shaded in blue. That was because it was selected. If I click any area on the screen, it has been deselected. I can select it by clicking here. You see, once I selected here, it's been selected here too. And I can select using this side too. So either of the two will select the screen. So just give me a minute. I will continue now. Okay. So I will also one other tools. one other tools that we have on this interface is this side, which is the drop down menu. Just click here. We have file, we have edit, we have view, insert, we have tools, we have windows. They are very essential when you are using SolidWorks because you need tools, you need window to change tabs, you need insert for some features, you need views to add something to view, and you need file to save documents, open documents, and save as when you want to use a particular document as a new document. Also, we have the drawing orientation. This is the drawing orientation. For we can define our drawing orientation using several ways. But before we go into that, let me. This is the task panel, and the task panel we have several tools. We have SolidWorks resources tool. We have design library, which contains several standards. We have several standards there, but I won't go deeper into that for now. And we have folder, which that is file explorer, which keeps our documents in order. So we have this view palette. When we are using our 2D aspect of SolidWorks, you will see the importance. We have our appearance here, where we add colors, where we have materials to our SolidWorks model. 3D experience is for connectivity. Connect yourself with other probably other people that you are working along with. So, and the recycle SolidWorks PDM, okay, for project development management too. But we are not going too much into that. So I'll explain how to enter a plane, a flying plane, and I'll explain how to add a dimension and unit to a drawing. That was what I just did while I created this line. So let me just teach you how to go back into a previous sketch. Let's say there was a mistake here in this line and I want to edit it. I have to go back to that sketch. So either you click here and select your sketch here, click your sketch. That's make sure you have your sketch tab selected and then click sketch. You go back into that sketch and you can see we can change the dimension. We have the exit sketch symbol and the delete sketch symbol. Automatic delete changes symbol icon. Automatically you are, it simply means you are in that sketch mode and you can edit the sketch. So now I want to teach how to change dimension. Probably we enter this sketch because the dimension was wrong. Instead of 100 mm, we want to change it to 200 mm. To change this dimension, come to this dimension value, this 100 mm. Make sure your cursor is on it. Double click on it. After you double click on it, you have your dialog box. It will appear. I don't know if you can see the dialog box from your end. Change the value from 100 to 200. So once you enter this, the sketch will update itself automatically, and I'm sure you can see that that's changed from 100 mm to 200 mm. So um okay, now I've taught how to use line. Aside, we have several tools. Just line alone, we have three options. Line tools has three options. We have line, we have center line, and we have midpoint line. So to use those three options, let me click on line tool. Okay, another way of creating line, instead of creating your line and adding horizontal relationship or making sure you draw a perfectly horizontal line. You can click option from here. The orientation options are either a sketch. It simply means the sketch will appear the way you sketch it. If you want it to be horizontal, let me show you the difference. If I select a sketch, see, I can go up, I can come this side, I can go at any angle. But let's say, okay, I can go at any angle this way. But let's say I click on my line tool this way and I selected horizontal. So once I start my sketch, I can't go up, I can't come down because I have defined it to be horizontal. It can only go horizontally, either positively or negative side. That's the only side it can go. I mean, the that's the only thing that can happen to that to that line that you are drawing. So other options that are there, let me use them. I have to exit it and go back to that sketch tool again. I can use vertical. So if it is vertical, it can't go sideways. It can only go this side. So check this, click this check icon. And lastly, the angled. You can, if you can that angled, it can go any side. You get you can see the traces of you can see the preview of four cardinal points. That is, if you want to go this side, you have the preview of the vertical line, horizontal line. So you can move at any angle. But most of the time, SolidWorks user don't follow that. They just select the sketch tools and draw, and make sure you have your um you have it horizontal. If you want to draw an horizontal line, check note the pencil icon. This under it, we have the sketch icon and we have a yellow horizontal symbol. That symbol simply means the line I'm about to draw is going to be horizontal line. If I should deflect that line like this way, you see, and I no longer have that icon again, it simply means it is inclined at an angle. It is not horizontal. If I want to make it vertical and it comes this way, once it is vertical, you see I have that yellow icon of vertical symbol. So if I click and define the end point of my line, automatically, okay, you know what? Let me just select all and delete what I have on the screen. I'm going to press Ctrl A on my keyboard to select all and delete. You can click option here and then clear selection and select it by dragging by normal selection mode of using mouse. So select all and then delete from your keyboard. So everything will be deleted. So let me show how to draw a perfect horizontal line and perfect vertical line using line sketch tool. So click. Right now I'm not having a vertical or horizontal line. You have to just make sure you are at hand. Now I have that yellow symbol. It simply means I have a perfect horizontal line. So but for vertical line, I'm going to press escape to leave the sketch tool. I'm going to click the line tool again and start from here going down. Now before, right now I don't have a vertical line, but right now I have the yellow symbol of a vertical relationship. Now I have a vertical line. I can now define the end point of the line. So right now I have two lines. One is horizontal while the other is vertical. So that is how to use vertical line. So you can edit this line by just clicking on it. We have the property of this line here in the property management manager box around here. I'm sure you can see my cursor and where I'm pointing to. So you can change this property, the properties of this line. You can change it to construction. The difference between construction line and normal solid line is that construction line, you can't use them for, you cannot use construction line for 2D, for to form 3Ds. So when you have construction line in your sketch and you want to form a 3D using Solidworks, those lines will be neglected and they won't affect your sketch. But if you have a solid sketch, a solid line or solid sketch, probably circle or arc, it will affect your 3D drafting. So now, let's say you want this line to be a construction line, just check the for construction box. Now I've checked it. You see the difference. The first one here that is horizontal is a construction line, while this vertical line is a horizontal line. So to make this line, and also you can make one line to be infinity length. To have infinite length, probably probably you might need a line that is kind of infinity, but I don't think it is really, we really use it in CAD, in SolidWorks. So now it has come back to normal dimension once I uncheck the infinity length. So other, we have parameters here. That is, we can change, instead of using smart dimension tool, we can add dimension directly from this parameter spread. That is in this line property box. So check this box, click this box and delete what you have there, just backspace, then insert new value, probably 200, enter. Now this is what our 200, this is the size of our 200 line. And let's say, you see, since it is vertical, it is at 270 degrees. That is when starting from here, from, I think from, yes, from here, which is 0, 90, 180 and 270. Yes. So that's that about line. And one other thing is fixed. I have to tell you the function of that fix. Probably you can move this, this line, you can move it around. But let's say you don't want to move it around. There are some time when you want to add dimension to complex sketch, you will not want some part, some sketch will move closer to a particular sketch so as to give the proper shape of what you are, of the dimension you are trying to give. Now let's say you don't want a particular line or a point to move, you can just click that line and then fix that line. Now the fixed relationship will be there immediately. That means it is fixed. All these relationships are very important because in SolidWorks, and when you are using SolidWorks, you might face some challenges and not know where the issue is coming from. Probably you added wrong relationship, or while making your sketch, some relationship has been added automatically. It happens. So just make sure you watch your relationship and make sure unnecessary relationships are not added to your sketch. Now if I try to move this edge, it's going up. That was because I only fixed the line and not the endpoint. So for me to fix this endpoint, just click this point alone and then you can fix it. Immediately I fixed it, we have the icon here. Once I try to drag, the way I'm dragging is just come to this point, left click and try to move the mouse around, it will drag. So if I try to drag this point, it won't drag because it has been fixed. Now if I want to fix this line too, click on that point and fix it. Now this line is fully fixed. You see the difference between this line and this line? This is, if the vertical line is black in color, it simply means it is fully defined. You have the dimension defined, you have the position defined. We've given this position to this, we've given the position of this endpoint here by fixing it. We define the position of this other endpoint by giving by we define the position of this endpoint too by fixing it. So automatically we can't change anything about this again. It is fully defined. There is nothing to add to it again to make it complete. Now let's check if this is blue because it is not fully defined too. To check, let's fix this endpoint. Now it has been fixed. You see the icon showing up, and let's give the dimension. Let's give it 500 mm or probably 1005 mm. So what color do we have now? We have it to be black because it is now fully defined also. So that's that about how to fully define a sketch. So I think I'm done with line code, and I've explained everything we have for properties, ratios, and how to use them. So you know how to fully define a line now. So I'm leaving the sketch, and we have the sketch here. So now let me quickly go into how to create circle. Here we have two options in the circle tool. The first option is a normal circle which has a center and a circumference. The other one has a circumference too, but the way we define it is different. The first option, let me click on that sketch tool. But before that, I have to enter a particular place. So either I enter this create sketch and select the sketch, or I enter another place and start the sketch. So in order to avoid muddling up the screen or the workspace before we start, I would prefer to enter this place by selecting the sketch, or I select this sketch and then go to this tab link, sketch tab, and select the sketch, and go back into the sketch. Now we are back into the sketch area. That's when we enter the display view. So you can just select all. So let's delete what we have to enter is a common how to create circle tool here. So I'm pressing delete on my keyboard to delete everything here on the workspace area. So I'm going to click the circle tool. Now we have the second properties. There are two types of circle. We have the first one to be this. I mean, there are two ways in which we can create a circle. I use the normal center point referencing method, and this other method is parameter circle. So I'm going to go and explain the first one. So I have to define the I have to define the origin, come to the drawing area, click the mouse, and then drag it to a convenient diameter. So I'm going to click the mouse again to fully define to fully draw to have a fully drawn circle. Now we have the cycle on the screen. So let me explain the circle. So now this circle is divided with us by us defining the location of the center point and us defining the desired radius of the circle. Like I explained the other time, was I told you this is not fully defined because the location is not defined and the dimension of this circle is not defined. So let's define the location of this circle by adding a relationship to this origin of the circle and this point. So I'm going to hold down the control button, the control key of my laptop. I'm going to select this point. I'm going to click this point here. And then we have a relationship that we can add to them. You can add horizontally to them. If you add horizontally, let me show what the effect of this relationship. If I add horizontal relationship, it's not okay. If I add horizontal relationship, you see the origin is coming from this point and going to this side. That is, it is horizontally, they are horizontally equal. But that's not what I want to add. I'm going to click this relationship. You can delete relationship by clicking on this on the relationship in the in this existing relationship box. Click the horizontal relationship and delete it. So I'm going to add coincident relationship and they will start from the same. Adding coincident relationship simply means they are both starting from the same point. They have the same origin. Now I've defined the location of this circle origin. It has been defined. Yet this circle is not fully defined. To now fully define this circle, come to smart dimension, click on this circumference of the circle. Now we have the preview of the diameter. Now drag the drag the cursor away from the circumference to define the location of the dimension. Now we have a dialog box where we can insert our value. So I'm going to insert 1500 mm. Now we have our circle fully defined. How do we know that it is fully defined? Just because this color changes from blue to black. If it is still blue, definitely it is not fully defined, but now it is fully defined. So now if you check our cursor, we have the smart dimension icon underneath. It simply means anything we click, we are going any click we make on a particular sketch, it simply means we want to define the dimension of that sketch. Now to leave this dimension smart dimension tool mode, you either press escape from your keyboard or right click your mouse and select and click select. Now you see we don't have the icon again. Definitely if we click, we are only selecting and not giving the dimension of that circle. So and there are other properties in this that we can add to this circle. We have here, instead of adding 1500 diameter here, you can change it here, which is the parameter. You can change it to any, you can either use smart dimension or change it here. So instead of using smart dimension, let's say we use this method and insert 1000. You will see it changing. It's not changing because this is superior and it can't be changed. Probably we've not added dimension before. So I'm going to click on this dimension. Okay, let me use this opportunity to show you how to delete the dimension. Let's say you want to change the dimension, probably you want to delete it. Click this line. After clicking it, then left click on it. I mean, right click on it and search for delete. It has been deleted and this circle is not no longer fully defined. You see the color changes. So now click on this line and you can define it using here. Let's say 1000. So it is not fully defined yet. So we have to use my dimension to fully define it. You can just drag it out instead of changing it. So just click and check instead of changing the value in the dialog box. So now we have it changing to black back and it is fully defined. So the other method of um, using drawing circle, which is perimeter circle, is to do that we need to have probably lines or just like a rectangle. But we can still use you can still use that feature without having rectangle. So click on the option, come to the screen. That's the first point. Initially, the first option will start, the first click will start from origin. But now this one is starting from the circumference, a point on the circumference and another point on that circumference. So either drag this way or drag this way, and the final point is defined by click to. So now fully define it, add probably relationship to this point and make them horizontal, and then give dimension to fully define it. So let's also give it 1000. So now, so yet it is not fully defined because I think, okay, yes, it can be dragged around. That's why it is not fully defined. So to not fully define it, you can give a distance from here to here from their origin. Let's say you want it to be 3500. Now it has been fully defined, and there is no other dimension, there is no other relationship to add to this circle to again. So that's how to use these tools, the sketch tool and the that's how to use the sketch tool and the perimeter screw. Now, also I'm going straight into rectangle now. But before I do that, I will clear what I have on my screen and delete everything. It has been deleted. So I will show you how to use rectangle tool. We have we have four options here. We have five options here. So the first
Bisa dulu
option
ya,
is
bisa dulu.
corner rectangle, which is you define with the rectangle corners. The first point is the starting
Wah,
corner,
patternnya ada gambar-gambar orang
and
yang
the
coba.
second click will define the end corner. Please mute your mic. So now I'm going to select
Berat.
this rectangle tool. I'm starting from this origin so that it can be well defined. First click, I've clicked the first time, so I'm dragging away from that point. So the preview of my
Pattern.
rectangle is shown. So to
Mana deh?
define the end point, the second end of the rectangle, so I'm going to click. Now I've
Wah,
clicked.
tengok nggak itu, ha?
Please
Kita
mute your
nih, ha?
mic. Okay. Okay. So now fully define this sketch. Because you have blue color simply means it's not fully defined. You need to add dimension to this side of the sketch, which is, let's say, 3000. Press enter, add dimension to this side here. Then let's add 1000. Now we have a fully defined sketch. You see the color has changed. So that's how to draw rectangle using the first method. The other option is center rectangle. So you can either use from corner or from main point. We have two options here. The first one is center, and the second click is point. So I mean, if the second click is the edge, now we have our rectangle being formed. So let's use the second option, which is center. See, which is center and not just edge. You see, it is midpoint. Now you see the difference. We have this angled construction line, and here we have vertical and horizontal construction lines in the middle. So that's just the difference between these two options in this second option of rectangle tool. So the third option is this, which is which we are going to define our rectangle by referencing 3 points. The first point, you can see, if you check the icon very well, you have 10 numbers. You have the first point to be 1, the second point to be 2. So now we have 3 points here. The first point, that's the first click. You drag, you can't see a rectangle yet. You can only see line. You can make it vertical. You can make it inclined. Let's make it inclined. And then the second point, you click. Then your triangle will now show when you drag up or you drag down. We have a preview now, but to fully define it, we want to define the wideness of the rectangle. So you have to click the first time, and then we have our rectangle. So let's use this method to draw a vertical base, I mean an horizontal base rectangle. So I'm going to click the first point, and I'll make my second point to be horizontally inclined, and then drag up. So we have the same rectangles. We have this rectangle with all other colors making. So here we also have relationship. You can add relationship to to lines of rectangle. You can add horizontal relationship, vertical relationship, and you can fix them too. So the other two options of rectangle tools are this, and the last one is parallelogram. So let me demonstrate this. This fourth one has two options. It has corner and midpoint, just like the second option too. So okay, before I see it, you can see me. I I just zoomed I just zoomed my sketch. To do the same thing, your mouse wheel, just scroll it. That's how to zoom either in or out. That's how to zoom. Just scroll your um mouse wheel, and then to move your sketch around. So I'm going to leave this sketch tool, this rectangle sketch tool. I'm pressing escape on my screen. So to move your sketch around, press and hold your control key, press and hold your mouse wheel, and then drag around. You can see I'm dragging the sketch on the screen around. So that's how to move your sketch from one point to another. And also, let me show you how to change orientation of your sketch. There are three methods. You either hold, you can either press the mouse wheel and hold it down. Don't remove your hand. Press the mouse wheel, hold it down, and drag your mouse. You see the orientation is changing. So, or we use this tool up here, which is view orientation. Click on view orientation, and you can select from this view cube, either this from this side. You can see the orientation has changed. You can select this again and click this. You can see the preview. Okay, it's not showing. You have preview at the side of your screen. So click, you can see you've changed the orientation of the of the sketch. The third method is just click your orientation triad. We have X, Y, Z. This is the triad. It can change the orientation of our sketch too. If you click this Z, you see it changing. If you click this X, you see the orientation changing. If you click Z, so you see it's changing now. So if you click the orientation triad, it will change the orientation too. And the fourth method is using the key of your keyboard. If you press the space key, you will see the view cube. Also, you can view from this angle. You see, if I click my tab again, I mean my not tab, space, you can view from this side, and that's how to change orientation of your sketch. So okay, let me continue with sketch tool. I mean with rectangle rectangle tool. Click on it and let's demonstrate the fourth option. We have two options again in that fourth option. So you define the center of that rectangle, you go sideways, you see, and the second option is the same thing, just that the construction line will be different. It will not be corner, it will be midpoint. The construction line will be midpoint, you see. Now we have the same thing. So let me clear this screen so that we can have a clearer workspace. Now the fourth, the last sketch tool, I will demonstrate it. That's and the last one, which is parallelogram. To draw a parallelogram, we have two parallel lines. So you have to define the base. So make sure you have a yellow icon under the pencil icon, pencil symbol, to make sure it is horizontal. And if you don't want it to be horizontal, you can. So now, if you drag up and drag your mouse sideways, you see it being inclined at an angle. So now we have defined our parallelogram. So now I left the rectangle tool. I want to add dimension to this parallelogram. So come to smart dimension, click this side, add dimension to it. So I'm going to add 1700. I mean this, okay. And this side, let's say from this line to this line. So I'm going to add 1500. So you see because it is still widening, I can just I can move this line and drag it. But okay, let me undo it. I'm coming. Let me define the angle first. This angle. So let me give it 40. So in short, this is how to add angle dimension. So this initially was one I think is 17,000. That was because we are working in millimeter. So from here to here, you can add dimension. Just make sure, okay, let's add 12,000 because of the unit. Now this sketch is not fully defined yet. It requires a position. So let's add relationship to the origin and add coincidence relationship. Now you can see it changing from blue to black. This simply means it is fully defined. So that's that about um rectangle tool. So let me see if I can go through. Okay, I will like to stop here, and our next class I will go over slots, polygon, spline, and ellipse. So we are going to end the class here today. Thank you for joining, and I would like to hear your feedback about the class. Let me stop sharing my screen so that I can hear from you and we can introduce ourselves.